Okay, so here we are. It's August. You can expect the usual here. We'll kick off by talking about some of the oils that are promotions to help inspire you on ways that you can use it, that inspires you to talk about it more, and also ways that might just like the customers and potential customers might come to mind a little bit. So Jerry is our faithful sharer about promotional items because she's so good at it. So she's doing the product of the month for us. Thank you, Jerry.
Okay, so product of the month is one of our favorites. It's Tea Tree Touch. So with a 125 PV order, you get a 10 ml Tea Tree Touch. So as we know, it's the perfect balance of tea tree, and it's already diluted with fractionated coconut oil, and it's ideal for skin of any age, young and sensitive skin. So it can cleanse the skin, as we know, and it's great for our nails. Promotes a healthy looking complexion. It's ideal for occasional skin irritations after a shave, whether it's female legs or male beards. You can use it for either. And also the bottoms of our feet for that cooling effect. I think Tea Tree Touch and Peppermint Touch together is amazing. So there's over 90 different compounds in tea tree, and it's been used by the Aboriginal Australian peoples for centuries, and for in the form of traditional herbal medicine. So they'd apply crushed leaves to the skin for that cooling effect. It's been called the protector in Ayurvedic medicine. It's known as the knight in shining armor. I love that. Never heard that used that before. And it also teaches that tea tree soothes the body and balances all the three dashas for you yoga folks. So the the Vata, the Pitta, and the Kapha. So what's really exciting though is that doTERRA, in their brilliance of their research, is they've been doing something, and they've published a study from their website in the journal Cogent Biology, and it's looking at Melaleuca oil in the human skin cells. And so what they've done is they've looked at Melaleuca or tea tree's impact on human skin cells, and it's looking at how it's used topically on our skin. And it's also believed to be the first study ever to test the impact of Melaleuca or tea tree on the human global gene expression. So we're the first ones to truly examine the impact of tea tree on the ongoing processes occurring within human cells. So anyways, what does this mean in short? It shows that tea tree robustly impacts our genes and that the proteins that are part of our cellular makeup. And they suggest that tea tree impacts various processes and functions in human cells, including tissue remodeling and metabolism. So they're ongoing with the research. So doTERRA is amazing. We know tea tree is amazing. And I think it's just a great product of the month for this month. So, let's go and go for 250 on our PV, right? And get two of them, right? I think we can do that. Yeah.
I don't know if you can get two, but mine's on its way. What was the Ayurvedic name again for it again?
The knight in shining armor.
I like that. Thanks, Jerry. You rock. I just think any touch rollers from doTERRA are so nice. Like a roller I make will never match. Like, why are they so luxurious? Like that Balance and Serenity, when it was on sale, I was like, oh, they're so nice. Okay, Sonia is going to help us out with the discounted product Northern Escape.
Okay, yeah, so I got Northern Escape. Do y'all own this one already? Yes. Okay, so your main ingredients, black spruce, Siberian fir, balsam fir, lavandin, it's like a sweet lavender, cedarwood, cypress, hinoki, frankincense, nootka, kananga, and clove bud. I'm just trying to think if it was diluted. I don't think so. I think it's a pure oil. And it can be used aromatically or topically. So your top uses would be like mental clarity, respiratory issues, airborne pathogens. So diffusing, of course, muscle aches and pains, like black spruce. Your fir oils are really good for your muscle aches, same with frankincense. Workout recovery, nervous disorders. I was just trying to find the price, and I think it's normally 36, and I think it's 10% off of that.
It's, I just happened to write it down because of today's post, 27 for the
Oh, okay, there you
email
go.
is what I wrote. Thanks, Son. I wouldn't have thought about using that for muscle aches and pains. That's a good tip.
Great.
Um, okay, so that is your Northern Escape. I feel like people are always asking me for like woodsy smelling oils. Do you know what I mean? And like this
Mhm.
is like, well, cedarwood does smell, but not Douglas fir on its own. You know what I mean? Like on its own, but this
Mhm.
is like, yes, this is your woodsy.
Yeah, this is definitely a walk in the woods. It's the woodland blend.
Yes, so I appreciate that. And then we've got an LTO item with Harvest Spice, and Susan is going to cover that for us.
All right. Oh my gosh. So Harvest Spice is like amazing in the fact that I love the seasonal favorite. However, because of the fact of where I live, and the truth is that we want to soak in as much of the summer as we possibly can. It's kind of like you want to hold it off a little bit. You just want to hold it off a little bit. But when you finally embrace the fact that fall is coming, it's my favorite season. And I too just love Harvest Spice. So it is a seasonal favorite. It is a limited time offer. It's wholesale pricing for $27. And the combination of oils that are actually in there is cassia, which is very similar to cinnamon, clove, eucalyptus, cedarwood, nutmeg, and cinnamon bark. So it's got, I know they go nuts trying to figure this out. And it's a really, really nice combination. Cinnamon, by the way, is from Madagascar. It's harvested from the bark, and it is distilled 8 to 10 hours locally by families who live and grow the cinnamon tree farms. So I thought that was kind of cool. I've entered a new phase of my oils where I really love knowing about the sourcing of things. I think Melissa kind of got me to fall in love with stuff like that. And so it's been really cool. So local families who grow their farms locally, and really it's cool. So this combination creates a warm, welcoming, homey environment for the fall. So it's called the Gathering Blend, and it's also known as Fall in a Bottle. So everything fall that you could possibly love, but it is limited time offer only. And so like when it's gone, it's gone. I think it makes wonderful gifts for individuals. And you're right. I just don't think that you can replicate it no matter how hard you try. So I hope you get some.
Thanks, Susan. Harvest Spice is one of those, I don't feel this about a lot of blends, but I think it smells a lot better diffused than just straight out of the bottle. That's my own personal preference with it. So if you get that, like our first thing we do is like when we get a bottle, like is to go like this and like really, if you have a customer say that, to encourage them, like diffuse it, it just hits differently, I think. Okay, so I wanted to just touch on refer a friend. There was like an interesting stat that was tossed around. I don't know if you caught it. That if you like, okay, so refer a friend is when our wholesale customers are able to say to somebody, here's a link, go order what you want. And their kickback is not a commission check, it's doTERRA dollars, right? And so just a couple, I'm always learning more about it. I still haven't like fully maximized that in my business. But the stat that was kicked around that I thought was interesting is that if you tell one of your wholesale customers, or you make a template to send out to let people know that every time they share a Harvest Spice blend with somebody and somebody goes orders it like with their link, they get $5.40 in doTERRA dollars. So you could like, you know, if you share X, you know, if you get, what would it be, 5 people, 6 people to buy a bottle, then you've got yours paid for. Just like a different way to look at it, and breaking that down. I also thought it was interesting. I want to confirm this, but as far as I'm concerned, doTERRA dollars can be used when you're earning them this way to purchase. We're okay to purchase any products included limited time offers. And I thought that was kind of interesting. And then just this is more of a random tidbit, but again, we're all kind of poking our way through it. You can earn up to 599 doTERRA dollars with the refer a friend program, because it keeps you under that 600 threshold. So there's a ton of potential there. I think doTERRA has put together a lot of great resources on it. And there's a link to take you to some in Kanto, and the digital marketing kit if you want to kind of poke around with that. Melissa, do you want to talk a little bit about the enrollment promotion, please?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting that there are people out there that have gotten really fired up about sharing and the Refer a Friend program. And I love reading about those people and how they're doing it. So yes, the Healthy 100 program was launched last month. So it's enroll 1 month, set up an LRP for 100 the following month, and the following month you get 100 free how did they phrase it? Product points. So for example, Amy enrolled 4 people in July. Laura Shields enrolled 1 person in July. So congratulations, guys. And so make sure that you help those people understand that you enrolled, that this would be the month that they would be setting up their 100 PV LRP order, and they would get their free 100 next month. So it start this month, 100 PV order gets, and then you order 100 PV next month and you get your free points. So I think that's a really, really great promo.
Thanks, Mom. I want to double back to the Ready kit. I think people are tired of hearing me talk about it, but it like the limit on those kits reset August 1st. So like they're back. And as far as I can tell, it looks like the bag is back as well with them. I have to tell you, I realized I could put together my own kit and just carry it around like we've all done it for years. But this silly little kit I use it twice a day out of my bag. At least we were swimming today and 2 kids, 3 cuts between them, gashes into the bottom of their foot from the lake while they were swimming. And I was like, oh, I've got my Correct-X and my own thing. You know, I added a bottle of Balance and Tamer to my Ready kit. So the little boy smelled Balance while I got his foot all taken care of and cleaned up with some Correct-X, and he was calmed right down. And I just can't get Gary getting stung by that bee on the job. And there's just so many things that happen. And I think it's a really good kit. I think the price point is like $92.96, which is reasonable. So I just wanted to bring that back to your attention. And even as like we're heading into the school year, yeah, literally a Ready kit for each vehicle. As long as I'm in the vehicle, the kit is there, but everyone's on their own if I'm not there. I think it's kind of a good back to school kit in a lot of ways. It depends on like what your seasons are like as you're going back into school. You still have the sunscreen stick in there, the Parashield. So just keep an eye on that. That's some really good stuff. Melissa, would you talk a little bit about convention for us?
Okay, guys, so it's coming up fast. So the dates are the 13th to the 16th of September, and there are still hotel rooms available. And there are 3 different ways you can attend. You can attend in person for $197. You get like all the stuff, right? Like the backpack, you get access to everything. You get the recordings. It's like the Cadillac, right? And then you can go to like the Buick and you can watch certain parts of it online, and that is $90. So that will give you access to, that's like they call that the leader package. So access to all 3 sessions, access to the recordings, all of the things except for obviously the in-person. And then the last one is more for shares. It's like your Chevrolet. So that would be $35 a session, or $35. You get to watch session 1 live, but you don't, and you get that session 1 in a recording, but that's all you get for that. The thing to remember is that the top, you know, the leader kit and the in-person, you have access to the like that order right away for the convention kit. So that's really something to have on hand and have access to. So if you've got any questions, ask me, reach out. You can look in your back office. There's a whole spiel on it. It's very well laid out. The fun thing is the concert is Andy Grammer. And I do not know who the keynote speaker is because I really, really always love their keynote speakers. I've never felt like we had a dud. And we have 2 people going this year. Miranda is going and Kelly Keating is going, and they are sharing a room, which is super exciting. I'm really can't wait to see what God is going to do in that relationship, because when I was telling Miranda, they have just so many similar things from like military background, single parenting, really neat. And I'm really excited to hear the stories. And I'm like this jealous that I'm not going to be in that room causing trouble.
You have to behave. No, actually, Miranda, you should misbehave on Melissa's behalf. Yeah, no. Okay, so the empowered success call. For some reason, I feel like it happened last night. I don't know if I got a notification weird, but here's the deal. I'll put the link in, and if it'll show up for next month if I've got it wrong. The topic is fired up for success, embracing failure and simplifying strategies for your doTERRA business. And what really caught my attention were the speakers. So basically they're going to be talking about strategies for conquering challenges and all that. So Curtis, I don't know who Curtis is, but Curtis will reveal how failure is an integral part of the journey towards success, while Angela Villa will equip you with simplified methods to achieve your goals. So Angela Villa is sharing on that. I know a lot of us enjoy being able to hear from her. So I wanted to kind of tip you off on the empowered success call coming up, or that just happened. Still not sure. I wanted to have a quick discussion with all of us who are on, and I can also put some of this into our chat, into our text thread to get some feedback. But one of the things we talked about at the beginning of the year was continuing education, our Saturday morning classes, and we agreed to pull together a round of it for like spring. It was kind of like February, March and April, I think we ran it. And then we had talked about doing a round in the fall. So maybe like mid-September, October, done mid-November. So we're done into the holiday season. So I kind of would love to hear, I kind of need to hear, are people at all interested in that? What do we think about grabbing a couple Saturday mornings here and there in those like kind of 10 in the vein of those 10 topics? There are no sacred cows here. People can say whatever. It's not going to like offend anyone. So what do people think about a round of CE coming up here? Yes, it would be flexible on how to present. I still envision just saying like, here's your general topic, emotions and mental wellness, go for it. Nutrition, go for it. And kind of doing that way. Yeah, so the new products will cover, that'll be our monthly call for September. So we do get a good dive on it there. But if they launch a whole new product line, like that's what happened with MetaPower, we have a whole nother CE class because we have a whole nother line. So it will have to, it might need extra education depending on, there was a sneak peek on the new products and I didn't watch it. Did anyone catch it? Was that just to me? Sorry, I blew it for our team. Microbiome. Okay. Oh yeah, based on what they're sharing. Okay. So yeah, there might be a whole nother class. So if anyone feels like a big to the calls, the Saturday morning calls, are we feeling okay? Are we feeling like we could pull it off? Are we like this? Are we like anyone like this?
I haven't enrolled anybody, but I have people who are still interested. I'm willing to do, one for sure, two. And I think, you enrolled 4 people and that's such great value. And we all have our ones we've done. So I don't think it's
Okay.
doable.
Okay. We think we can kind of tackle that, piece it together. And then I feel like every time, be thinking as we're doing this, as you're doing this, if you're tackling one, like what is working well, what is not, is there a way, like we don't have to do this for the rest of history. I feel like we do around, we look at it, we kind of are like, how is this working? I know we've talked about mixing it up and we've kind of stayed with this for a little while. So I'll try and create a sheet where it kind of maps out what Saturday mornings that would be. I will try to avoid the beginning of the year and the holidays and kind of sandwich it in there, but you do the best you can. I don't get it. I don't get what you put in the chat box.
You said we don't have to do it for eternity. And I like wake up on Saturday mornings and I go, oh, and so I'm saying I'm going to be still doing that for eternity in heaven.
I got it. I'm going to be in heaven going, wait, is it my Saturday? Okay, sorry, but it's just not translating at all. Sorry, guys. Okay. Our monthly call for August is oil station creation. I really think this is gonna be so fun. I just feel like our calls are getting better and better. So I think this is solid stuff. My sign up sheet is ready to go. I'm gonna put it in the chat box. I don't really feel like, I know I put in the document, if the topics don't make sense to you, just add your own or like do it how you want. It's just kind of like, yeah, oil stations for the bedroom, whatever. I kind of did water stations, but you can go for it. Okay, Melissa. I even think it's helpful to talk about like where do you get storage racks for your wall, or like your cute ones for the counter? Like people ask that all the time. Oh shush, fine. Melissa's in charge, Amy is out. Okay, so and I'll put the registration in there for the chat, or if people want to register, not to. Fine, Melissa, we'll let you take over. And then I won't be able to mark it that it's not for kids every time I put it on YouTube. Melissa was in charge, not for kids.
I want to mention for giveaways, Susan Shaw donated, she sent it to her. Anyways, I got it from KJ's husband. It's a whole bottle of Mitomax and a whole bottle of phytoestrogen and a whole bottle of the new Tear Shield. So if somebody's doing, I'd be glad to ship to whoever might want to use those, especially when we get into our continuing ed classes again. But I thought those, I thanked her, really generous. She is not using them, and she wanted to put them into hands that would put them into somebody else's hands that would use them. So just thought I'd share.
That's so generous. Yay, Susan. Okay, let's flip it over. Does anyone have anything they want to add on what we shared so far, or questions? Anything I'm missing? Okay.
What's the status of the Rose Duet? Do you know?
Does it still show as available? Let me look. I'm still loving it. Does that count for anything?
I thought that Angela Villa put something up last week saying it was still, or it was one of those guys saying it's still there, but it'll be, when it's gone, it's gone. But I wonder if they're gonna bring it back around the holidays, you know? So how's that for as clear as
Okay,
mud?
so as of 12 hours ago, Hillary LeMay said it was 75% sold out, and that summer ready kit was 50% sold out, FYI.
I just want to, I have a question too about, with our recent BOGO of PB Assist. Do you think there's a reformulation coming down the pike that they've, the microbiome topic? Can't say anything, huh?
I know we got to see it and experience it at our incentive trip in February, and they were all jazzed about it. So yes, they are offloading the old formula, bringing in new. It's way higher CFUs, way more going through your gut. Different strains were added in. And so I thought it was interesting that when I attended the doctor panel, they said, well, Murr was there, but they said that the doctor, like Dr. Riggs was one of the ones that was like, you take doTERRA's PB Assist for like 10 days, and then you switch it up and you add in another one. Okay. And it was also Dr. Osgothorpe used to say that, a different brand. And now they're like, with this reformulation, you do not any longer need a different one. You should take it all the time. That was what they said.
It looks to me like the Rose Duet is still available, son.
The new PB Assist is coming out at convention. And I also remember that they were trying to come out with their own brand of CGM, continuous glucose monitor, for convention as well. And they weren't sure they were going to make that mark. So they said it might go into the first quarter of 2024. But I found out I figured out how to get one for free. I've got one on my arm. I've had it on. So I got a free one for 14 days, and I've gone down the rabbit hole of what meals look like. And it's quite interesting when you have one on.
Trouble. Yeah, it still looks like it's available. I'm checking on something, but I can't get into it. So, any other questions? Okay, Miranda, take it away.
Okay, yay. I don't feel as on my game, so I'm gonna do my best. Like Vivi got stung by like 3 stupid hornets and we had to like come to her aid and she's in shock, but love clay packs. So side note, if Purify's great, Copaiba's great, nothing was really cutting it. So I just took some like clay, like bentonite, but there's like ancient clay. You just keep it in your medicine cabinet and you take a little clay with the water and you make a paste, right? And you put it on that stuff because hers was like welts this big. I mean, I'm just like, there wasn't an allergic reaction, but it was such nasty. I'm still mad about it. Anyway, so clay packs are awesome and cooling. And I put like our homemade wipes over, but you can do an ice pack over it. And I loved how, and of course, Copaiba was great and lavender and Purify, but clay packs are like the bomb. So anyway, let's focus. Everybody take a deep breath so we can get here. And I also want, if you guys have anything, like if you were like, if I could have a coach for a day, and people pay moolah for coaches, right? And obviously I'm a coach on, not even on the side, I'm a coach, I'm a doTERRA, I'm all the things. So if you could ask the coach a question or whatever, and you guys don't mind getting personal, I'm going to ask you, I'm like going to give you total permission to, and you might not want to go deep like that, but, and I won't take very long, but I'm going to give you permission to put it in the chat or to say it out loud, because like, I know me, I pay for a coach all the time. I won't live without one. I would love for somebody to be like, dude, let me, so if not now, the next call, bring your questions, because I'm definitely a responder more. So I'll coach on some, I have something to share with you and you take it however you want it. Some people don't want the level awareness. Some people don't want, but Amy asked for me to do this. And so that's why I'm here. And I just love growing, and we all love growing. We're all leaders, right? We lead our homes, we lead ourselves. So if you have anything that actually comes up, because I feel like somebody has like a burning question, then put it in the chat or ask me and we could all learn from it. Okay. If you don't want to do that, don't. But if you want to, I'm here and I'm really gifted in this area. So anyway, I want you to think about how is your current mindset serving you? And I'm going to go into it a little because this could go 15 different threads, we call them in coaching, like following a thread or pulling on a thread. It can go several different paths. How is your current mindset in finances serving you? How is your current, you can pick whatever lands for you. How is your current mindset in how you, I'm going to say how you view yourself, right? Serving you. How's your current mindset, how you're viewing others, right? If you're faith-based, how's your current mindset, how you view God serving you? But it's cool. It's interesting because it's like, it's August, right? But I feel like this is a season where it's okay. It's like we get permission, and anytime's the right time, but just hear me out, to really look at what we're thinking, what we're listening to, really look at like a pruning per se, or a shaking or a sifting, because man, if our mindset, it's costing us. If it's a not a negative, what's the word? If it's like a lower, you know what I'm trying to say. I lost the train of thought with that. But if it's not the best mindset for you, if it's not a great mindset, and you know what I'm saying, not just positive thinking, healthy mindset, then it's costing you moolah, like money. It's costing you time. It's costing you, and it's almost like it flows. Things flow for you when it's a healthy mindset. That's where I'm looking for, healthy or unhealthy. So just in general blanket, how is your current mindset serving you? Okay. Now, is there anything you need to weed out? Like this is for journaling time, right? But is there anything you need to weed out of that mindset? Like, Lord, show me the weeds, show me the nast, show me the seeds that were planted there from childhood or youth or now, because there's stuff all around us that, you know, that were planted that don't belong. And if you really do this work, he'll show you. And if you really do the work, something will come up. Because we're spirit, soul, and body. So you can't get away from it no matter how many people want to fight. We're not spirit, soul, and body. We are. So how is my current mindset serving me? And is there anything I need to weed out? And my favorite thing is there anything I get to plant? Is there anything I get to plant? I would weed first, you know what I'm saying? And then with that space, I would then plant, but you can do whatever. So how's my current mindset serving me in finances and health and wealth? You name it, how you see yourself, how you see your husband. I mean, let's be real, how we see our kids, you know, let's get like, the more transparency we get, the more healing we get. Is there anything you need to weed out? Is there anything you get to plant or you need to plant? Does that make sense? I guess, let me know, head nod if it makes sense. Okay. It's just a reminder. I feel like this is a reminder before I ask the last question. Is we get to choose, like we don't necessarily get to choose what happens to us and I know you know this, but maybe somebody needs to hear this again. We don't get to choose what happens to us. We don't get to choose our circumstances all the time. We do get to choose our response to that. And we do, if we don't like how something's going, we get to choose a new direction or a new way, especially in the thought life. And change your thoughts, change your life, right? You change your thought process, you change your life, straight up. They go hand in hand from the inside out, right? So you don't necessarily get to choose like XYZ happened to you in the past or XYZ. And inner healing is super important. And I'm like a very huge component for that. Not always needed, but it's very important. But you get to choose your response. Okay. And then the last question, because it was presented to me and I'm still like trying to grasp it, but I grow with you guys. So I'm not like, yeah, is what is something, see if this makes sense or lands. What is something your next level self would do? You could also change it. So whatever fits for you, make that question fit you for you. What is something your next level self would do? And I'll try to come up with an example as I'm talking. What is something your next level self would do? I remember Kuchar, what's her name? Jenna Kuchar? Is that her name? I remember her, and I can't, obviously, I'm not going to try to go into the whole thing at convention. She was amazing. But she was like walking us through a visualization of waking up in the morning and what would you be your day and like slipping into XY, like you would slip into that person. Okay. And I'm not, Melissa would do a better job at that, explaining that than I would, but that's kind of like this question. If you picture, because again, I feel like this is like a reflective time of year and then the new year's coming. I know it's only August, but it's coming, but there's like reflection here. What is the something my next level self would do? Or maybe it would be just something like you want to do anyway. So for example, my next level self, and I'm trying to come up with one. The one thing that comes to mind is like maybe get regular pedicures to pamper myself. My next level self would, drink my seltzer water from a fancy glass. My next level self would buy something for my house what's something my next level self would do? And in doing that and kind of staying in that, it raises your frequency, your vibration, but also raises like in a way, it could raise your outcome. Okay. No false promises or false hopes. I just want to present that question because it's something I'm chewing on. And I always like to do that. Does anyone have anything for me right now? Or I'm going to ask you to just press in a little bit for next month and see if you want to come with something that you have a question about or not. And then you don't have to take advantage of it. I just want to present that to you. Okay.
Can I say something? Are you all gonna hate me?
No.
Miranda said in one of her points, what was planted that needs to be weeded out? I attended something that was really pivotal for me. It actually maybe 10 years ago, and the speaker was talking about how so many of us believe things that were said to us between the ages of like, I think it was 0 and 7, maybe a little older, but in that time frame where your earliest memories are based around an emotion or a trauma, but very strong. Something happened that was very strong, and you made a decision based on what happened in that moment in your 5-year-old self, for example. And so nobody told us when we turned 18 and we were allowed to vote and move out and do all these crazy things, that you can also let go of a seed that was planted that can be weeded out, that doesn't serve you any longer. So we all, if we think about it, can think of 2 or 3 things that happened that are our earliest memories. And most of our earliest memories are bad. If we're honest, there's like something that happened that scared us or frightened us. Look at Amy smiling. We know, she and I both know what hers are. And, you can let that go. That isn't truth necessarily and something you need to carry forward. I would love sometime to talk more about what I learned on that call, but I think it's really true. And thanks, Miranda, for bringing that back up.
Thanks, Mer. So many good things to chew on. I'm still talking about that my boundaries have been laid in pleasant places. That was so good. So we appreciate you. All right, everyone, that is what we have. Don't forget about our monthly call on the 21st. I have to help with bedtime. I don't know if anyone noticed, but they want me. So was anyone thinking of staying on for Was anyone thinking of staying on for project broadcast stuff, or where were we on that? Or were people signing off? It's okay if people were, I can like pivot. I just want to check in. Okay. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, Jerry was muted.
No, she's like, come on, mom, let's go.
I am still working on some first of the month and some project broadcast stuff. I was thinking back to school stuff. I will probably post the link, the Google Doc link in the team app, and we can all share to it and kind of collaborate that way. Does that sound fair?
Thanks so
Yep.
much Amy, for doing those. It's so appreciated. Thank you.
Does everybody have to redo that, take that survey for Project Broadcast, or only was it random? Did you all get, if you have project, yeah, did you complete it and did you hear back, Jerry?
Well, I don't remember because I know I had to do something. I don't know if it was a survey, but I had to put down what my, the nature of what my calls were and do that. And then they